Welcome back to episode 49 of Off the Wall Podcast. I'm Bobby, here with Melo and Matt, and one of our teams is going to the World Series. It is not the Los Angeles Dodgers. It is not the New York Yankees. It is the Philadelphia Phillies, just like we all thought. Matt, congratulations.
Wow. Wow. As you said, I nobody saw this coming. I can't say I saw this coming at the beginning of the season. Now, sure, later on in the postseason, once we actually made it, I had all the confidence in the world. I did predict the Phillies to win every series, and they did pull through for me, so I gotta love that. Yes, I don't know what to say. I'm very excited to be back to the World Series. Obviously, I don't really remember much of the Phillies being there in 08 and 09. I was like 5 years old at the time, so I think that's pretty reasonable to not remember any of that. So here we go. Phillies first time in the postseason in 11 years, and they go straight to the World Series. Job's not over yet, though. Job's not over yet. We got a beast of a team in Houston to take care of, so I'm sure Bobby can attest to that later. And we'll talk about everything about the Phillies. So I love this. All this talk about the Phillies. Nobody wants to talk about the Phillies in the regular season because I don't know. We just didn't talk about them a ton. So
I mean, the last team to make it into the postseason, like out of the National League, the sixth seed, or sixth seed.
Yep.
The expanded playoffs happened this year. They wouldn't have, again, who knows if it would have been different, but if it was the same format as last year, wouldn't have made it. But now, expanded postseason, World Series bound Philadelphia Phillies. Unbelievable. Melo, let's hear it.
Philly's the place to be right now, man. If you want to watch some good teams, you got to go to Philadelphia. But I'm happy for Matt. This has been an incredible ride. Obviously, I wish my team was in it, but the Phillies are just as good, man. And
Well,
I
just as
mean,
good. Wow.
Yeah. After what I've seen the last 2 weeks, look, my team is home. His team is still playing. So maybe it's because I'm still upset. But anyway, happy for the Phillies. Team of destiny. That's what it feels like.
Yep. Man. So what are we gonna dive into the series right away? The NLCS?
Sure. I mean, I will give props to the Padres. It was not a bad series, okay? And sure, 4-1 makes it seem like the Phillies dominated. It was just their offense was better, basically. And in the tight games, the Phillies were able to squeak out a couple runs. The starting pitching was good when you expected it to be good. I mean, I personally didn't expect much out of Bailey Falter when he was opening that the last game, or not the last game, but game 4. So I wasn't expecting too much then, but other people maybe were. But when Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler were pitching, they did exactly what they needed to. Yu Darvish did good too. I mean, it was just a matter of he made, and debatably didn't even make any mistakes. It's just the Phillies offense was rolling. I mean, Rhys Hoskins, 4 hits in the whole series, and they are all home runs. And he didn't even win NLCS MVP either. Bryce Harper, wow. Kyle Schwarber hit over 400 in the series, I believe. I would love to just talk about all of the Phillies players for the whole episode and how great they did.
You can. It's okay.
Yeah. Bryce Harper worth every single penny.
Yeah, we have to.
And according to Fangraphs, maybe even worth more than he's getting paid.
He definitely is.
Which I'm not sure how they calculate that, but hey, I would love to know sometime though, like what they take into account to calculate how much a player's worth. But either way, Philly's feeling pretty good about themselves right now, like Melo said, and Wow, what a ride indeed. And it's not over yet. As Bryce Harper said, 4 more games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, me and Melo are both going to talk about this, I'm sure, about how Bryce Harper and every other baseball fan that's not a Phillies fan is looking back to that 2018 offseason where they could have gotten Bryce Harper for a stupidly affordable price. He's only making $26 million a year, and that's relatively low compared to other players around baseball. One of the best players in baseball showed up at the biggest stage this entire postseason. I mean, the home run yesterday, we're recording obviously after the day after they clinched. Um, wait, no, was that yesterday or the day before?
that was
Yeah, it was.
yesterday.
Okay, I can't keep
Yep.
tracks. But that home run yesterday, opposite field, like, man, I just get chills thinking about it. And the way that the stadium erupted after that, it was amazing.
The radio call was electric. Um, I listened back to it a couple times and watched the video a couple times because hey, I am a fan and I am going to absolutely fanboy over Bryce Harper's clutch 2-run home run. And I heard a crazy stat that pitcher, blanking on his name right now. Garcia, is it Garcia? Was it Garcia in?
Possibly. I don't remember.
Or Suarez? It might have
Suarez,
been
Suarez,
Suarez.
Suarez, yes.
Yes, didn't give up a home run to a left-handed hitter all season long, and then in the postseason when it matters the most, Bryce Harper is able to take him opposite field. Opposite field is wow. That's even more crazy that he's taking him oppo taco, but yeah. All the Phillies contributed up and down the lineup, and Gene Segura, we almost didn't forgive you. We didn't like you very much for a little bit, but hey, you made up for it then. So, and Alec Boehm loves this place now. He does not hate this place. He's
Good to
confirmed
know.
that. So yeah,
Bryson Stott had a couple hits, 2 big hits. Alec Boehm. Castellanos was like alive.
Castellanos. Yes, I don't know where this came from. I mean, this isn't his. I don't know. This isn't his first taste of the postseason. He was on the Cubs, I believe, or
Probably.
I think he was
Got
on
to
the
have been.
postseason Cubs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but he's really come alive this postseason too. So here we go. Schwarber, like I said, he had 1 or 2 leadoff home runs, I think, in the series. So yeah, I don't know. This is great. I can't be any more excited right now. So
Yeah.
I would love to ask Kyle Schwarber because he was on that Cubs team that won in 2016. Now I know he was injured that whole year and he didn't come back till the World Series of all, the biggest stage of all. But I'm just wondering if we can, if I had a question, I would ask him which has been more enjoyable. And I think he would say Philadelphia because in Chicago, listen, that team was very good and there was a lot of pressure on them to win it all that year. And no disrespect to the Phillies, but coming in, it was like, okay, they might win a round, but they're not going to get past the Braves, or they might not even get past the Cardinals. And for them to just play with house money like this, I would love to ask Schwarber. This has to be better than Chicago, right? I know the job's not finished yet, and you still have to go get 4 more wins, but I would think that he would whisper in my ear, "Yeah, I love Philly more than Chicago."
I
Yeah, it was
mean, how could you not though? Because this, like, I get it. Chicago breaking the curse and breaking the long streak there, and everything, all the history there. But like, Philly is one of the best sports towns in the world, and Citizens Bank Park was rocking.
that was unbelievable. Like, but like every big moment this series, the fans showed out. It was so loud. It really was unbelievable. And I'm really happy for Philly, the fans, like you, just the Phillies, they're likable. It's a very likable team. And well, the team. Philly fans
I
could
was
be,
gonna say,
yeah,
the fans really.
yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna this team is, but but I don't. Is it a team of destiny? Is it the team of destiny? What else do we
Could
have to
be.
touch on this series or the Phillies?
Um,
Anything else that you want to let out?
about the Phillies. Uh,
I
don't pitch Andrew Bellotti and Connor Brogdon. I said that last episode. I don't know. I don't know if Bobby was on. I don't think Bobby was on.
no.
So, but I did say that to Melo. Yeah, please. I know they did all right in the last game, but or not the last game, second last game. So just please, we need to avoid them. Kind of stink, but
Hey,
yeah, here
Melo.
we
Yeah.
go.
What's up?
If I can't say something about the losing side in this,
Okay. Yes.
congratulations, San Diego, on winning your World Series against the Dodgers. Unbelievable performance. Completely. I don't. No, listen, I'm going to take that back. I was going to say they completely shit the bed against the Padres. They didn't. They had a lead in like 3 of these games. So I'm not going to say that. But, I mean, it just looked like they were just out of gas by the end of it. Kind of.
Out of gas, and just their offense just wasn't quite on the same level as the Phillies.
Right.
Really, they played good. The Padres played good. Just it wasn't quite good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that they were
Gold Glove
real.
finalist Juan Soto out there making tremendous plays in right field.
And Aaron Judge is no Gold Glove. I mean, different leagues, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. But no, I do think the Padres played well. The Phillies are just so red hot. I don't know what team is gonna stop them, or what team would have stopped them, I should say. Like, I think if the Dodgers were playing, unless the Dodgers were at their A game,
Yeah,
I don't know if
we
they.
would have lost to the Phillies probably.
Yeah, the way that the Phillies played the Padres, they looked like one of the best teams in baseball. Like, it was unbelievable. Everything clicked for the Phillies this series.
Yeah,
Exactly, literally. There, I don't remember. I mean, there's a few times. Yeah, obviously we lost one game, like I mentioned earlier. Gene Segura had an error, but really there was not a lot of moments where I was like, I don't feel good about this team right now or about winning this series.
Yeah, and just to kind of touch on that Segura thing, like I'll get into it in the with the ALCS with the Yankees, but the Phillies, whatever, there was a couple minor mistakes that they made, but it didn't let them ruin it didn't ruin the series for them. They bounced back and kind of picked each other up. Where I'm gonna get into with the Yankees, one little minor mistake and it was done. The inning was done. They weren't picking each other up. Where the Phillies, all right, this guy made an error, didn't get hit in a big moment. I'll step up and make up for it, and that's how the Phillies won this series, I think.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, you summed it up perfectly right there.
It was impressive.
You know how else they won the series too? Their manager let their starting pitcher go past the 5th inning.
What
Yeah,
are you hinting at someone who didn't do that?
Totally. Not at all. Just happened to just come out of my mouth.
But yeah, no, shout out
Must
to the Phillies. It's
must be
amazing.
nice. Must be nice to not look at the nerd in the box, in the press box. Must be nice.
Yeah,
well, remember, nobody thought changing the manager was going to solve the issues, but
That's true.
hey,
sure seems like it did. Now Joe Girardi's the one breaking down how the Phillies won the National League this year.
God.
So
oh God. But yeah, I don't know. Shout out to the Phillies. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I would say we're all rooting for them. Melo, you are
Yes,
you
right.
guys better
I am.
be.
I am.
And
Okay,
both of you
I
hate the
am.
Astros, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, and you got a friend here who's a Phillies fan,
yeah.
so
I just
you
wanted
ought
to
to
make it
be.
clear.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So I guess move on to the ALCS unless anyone has any other final
Yeah, I
thoughts
guess
for.
I got a final thought. I hope San Diego gets rid of that goose. Tired of seeing it. I'm so glad it's over. If I was at Dodgers, when I was at Dodger Stadium, if I had a gun and I would have seen that goose on the field, I would have shot it right on the spot.
All right,
Wow.
relax over there.
What about the a group of old guys singing that whatever? I
That's
mean,
what's in. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Yeah, Mello, what were your thoughts about that? I forgot. I was gonna bring that up. I forgot to bring that up earlier. Mello,
Well,
I want to hear your thoughts specifically about that.
I saw the stat. It's like ever since they did that, they ended up just winning one game and losing the series. So if you want to get rid of somebody, you should get rid of those group of people out there in San Diego. But I didn't have a problem with it. Listen, you get somebody new like this, they don't know how to act. They've never been there before. So they're gonna probably do some stupid stuff. And
It's
they
fair.
did.
It's fair.
Yeah. And don't ever make fun of the fanatic ever again. If I see something like I saw something out there in San Diego where they had like a mural of like the Philly fanatic, like getting beaten up or something. If I see that again, Matt, I got you. I'm gonna go defend the fanatic.
Appreciate that, Mello. I mean, especially when your mascot is a monk, so I don't think they have much room to talk there. But
It's fair.
so you'll defend the fanatic even if he's beating up your manager, Mello?
Ooh,
Oh,
good point.
damn.
Good point.
Listen, my team's out of it right now. We're not talking about the Dodgers.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's a good answer. Good cop out. Yeah. So the ALCS.
Oh, what happened?
N- that's that's messed up. You said you weren't gonna do that. But anyway, New York Yankees got swept out of the ALCS. The Astros brought the brooms in the clubhouse
Da, da,
and
da,
swept the
da, da.
Yankees right out of their home stadium, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Um, I don't really know what else to say other than like it was just a very embarrassing series as a Yankee fan. Everything Yankees were outplayed, like wasn't even close. But it didn't help them that they didn't hit when they needed to, with the exception of Harrison Bader, who turned into Mr. October. 5 home runs in the postseason so far. Anthony Rizzo also came up big. And also, Garrett Cole showed up and pitched like an ace.
Okay.
He did what he needed to. And majority, I'm probably missing a couple guys that had good. Wandy Peralta in the bullpen was amazing. He pitched very well. But other than that, he just didn't show up. Defensive blunders, managerial decisions that were questionable, just stupid ass comments from the players and the coaches. Um, yeah, it was just like a very, very embarrassing series as a Yankees fan. I don't know what else more to say other than that. The Yankees, I would say they beat themselves more than the Astros beat them in a way. I'm not the Astros definitely deserve to win this series, but there are very winnable games that the Yankees just threw away. Thanks to what we're going back to what we said with the Phillies, stupid mistakes that the teammates picked each other up about. For example, in game 4, Mello, did you watch last night or no? Yeah. Went with the double play when IKF and Glaber made an error. You would think that then the next pitch, of course, it was like an RBI single, and the Astros ended up scoring. Like things like that. Like Bader dropped a fly ball in the outfield, and next pitch a home run. So just things like that where they didn't not take advantage of, or just follow up mistakes by making up for it. They just really played horrible. And that's really it. I don't know what else to say. You guys go.
Did the whole team turn into IKF for that series? Not coming up in a big moment, can't hit very well, defensive mistakes. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, IKF did relatively well this year. He had more hits than Aaron Judge this series, I'll say that.
fair. I mean, there is, if I'm wrong, correct me, but isn't there a stigma that he doesn't come up in big moments?
He hits singles, and he doesn't hit anything more than that.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll ask you what I asked Melo. when the Dodgers got eliminated. Do you think Boone should be fired
Um,
or
yeah,
will?
I weirdly think that this sweep is it better wake up this franchise. If they don't make big changes, meaning general manager, manager gone, or maybe other front office people like lesser roles, I guess you could say, then I don't know makes those what leads to those changes if it's not this. They don't win a game in the ALCS. They barely get by in the ALDS. Yes, they made it to the ALCS. Whoop-de-doo. But they haven't been to a World Series in 12 years, 12 years, whatever it is. I think realistically, in a perfect world, Cashman and Boone are both gone. But I weirdly think, I said this with Kyle the other day, I think that Boone's gonna stay and Cashman gone.
Wow. I mean, I think that's somewhat fair. Cashman is the one assembling the team, and it sort of seems like there are some flaws around like just the core of the team. Like, sure, you got Judge, and that's a great core piece, but then building around there doesn't seem like they did a great job. Um, but I is the general conception that Aaron Boone doesn't like he kind of gets told what to do from the front office.
That's what I imagine. I would love to know. No one will ever know unless
Yeah,
literally him or Cashman literally comes out and says it. But that's what I would think. Um, the reason why I said Cashman gone and Boone stays too is because Cashman's contract expires this year. Like this was his last year of this contract. Boone still has a couple more years, even though it doesn't mean anything. But I think they might keep Boone and Cashman might be gone. He's been there since 1980 something. I forget what it was, like in the
Damn.
organization.
Wow.
Um, but there's only so much you can put the blame. There's only so many times you could blame the players for underperforming until you like, what am I trying to say? There's only so many times you could blame the players for underperforming until you like look at the general manager and you say, wait, you keep bringing in these guys that are underperforming. How many times is it like your fault?
maybe they're not
You know what I mean?
underperforming. They're just not as good as you
Right,
thought they were.
right. And you look at the Yankee team, and on paper, they are very, very good. I don't think you can deny that at all. But these guys didn't show up when they needed to. Specifically, a huge one, Aaron Judge, didn't perform in the postseason at all, with the exception of what, 2 home runs. But other than that, he didn't do anything. Um, just those guys didn't show up when they needed to, and it's been that way for years and years and years. So I just think they need to blow it up. The front office. Hold on,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna
Oh, okay.
say,
I was like,
But
wait a
yeah,
minute.
yeah, blow it up, a controlled blow up, if that makes sense,
a
somehow.
I
clean
think once
out.
you blow
Yeah, yeah.
something up, you can't just keep it to a minimum.
Eh, well, it's in a controlled area though. It's a controlled blow up.
Okay.
Mello, what do you think?
I mean, just, you have to give the Astros credit at the end of
Oh,
the day. This is their fourth World Series appearance in the last 6 seasons. That's incredible. Just this team somehow finds a way. They lose big free agents. Boom, here comes a rising rookie who's hungry and wants to win and just get more playing time. They have a good man. They have a great manager in Dusty Baker, who I'm going to say this right now to both of you. I love Dusty Baker, and the only reason why I would want the Astros to win is because of Dusty Baker.
that's
That
fair.
is it. That is it. Because he deserves one eventually. Now, obviously, I wish it wouldn't be with the franchise that he's with, but Dusty Baker's a great guy. But I mean, yeah, if you're a Yankee fan, it's like how much more. It's kind of like the same thing with the Dodgers. It's like how much more of this can you take before it's time to really do something? Because I don't want. I mean, listen, Yankee and Dodger fans, they're gonna show up to the ballpark next season, like we always do. but it just keeps getting louder and louder, and you have to do something.
Yeah.
You have to
And
do something.
going back to giving Astros credit, um, is it fair to say I think I had to have seen this somewhere because I don't think I thought of this myself, but is it fair to say the Houston Astros are what baseball fans make the Dodgers to be in a way? The dominance. And I think the Astros run that they're on more dominant than the Dodgers recently.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, listen, if the Dodgers win that World Series in 2017, I think we look at this franchise totally differently.
Right.
You win the two World Series in 17 and 20. You've been to the World Series in 18. You've been to the ALCS a couple more times. You've won your division a whole bunch. I think that just having that second World Series for the Dodgers makes a huge difference. And yeah, I think the Astros, they're what us Dodger fans think we are.
Right.
World Series appearances every year, letting our starting pitcher go past the fifth inning, bringing in right bullpen guys, getting big hits from our superstars.
Doing
Just
everything right.
yes.
And the frustrating part about this ALCS, Yordan Alvarez did not do anything. Altuve didn't get a hit until what was it, game 4 or game 3
I
that
think
he
three.
got his first hit of the postseason. Um, Bregman did do well. Kyle Tucker didn't do anything. It was just Chas McCormick. Like, come on, are you kidding? But like, it was just again, it goes back to what we were saying about the Phillies, what the Phillies did and the Yankees didn't, and the Astros obviously did too. Guys stepped up and got the job done when they needed to. Their Astros big hitters didn't do what they needed to. The bottom of the order stepped up. Jeremy Pena, a rookie, stepped up, won ALCS MVP. Carlos Correa's replacement, who was arguably the best shortstop in baseball, left, and the Astros somehow got better, which doesn't even make sense. Justin Verlander showed out, like, everything goes right for the Houston Astros, and this series just showed how much they're not even comparable to the New York Yankees. They're just so far ahead than any other team in the American League. It's no debate, I think.
Is it safe to say the Astros are the best run franchise in baseball overall? Like, okay, throw out the cheating stuff. It happened. Yes, it happened. And it's not okay. And, say what you want about it. But the fact that, like we said, they had Carlos Correa, debatably the best shortstop, and he leaves and they have a guy ready to take his place. There are times I forget George Springer was so good and left the Astros because it's like they didn't miss a beat without him.
And Garrett Cole too.
Garrett Cole, boom. They bring in Justin Verlander, Lance McCullers Jr. They've been swapping out starting pitching pieces, and they all seem to work pretty well there.
Yeah, they let Zach Greinke walk 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were able to figure it out.
I think that's accurate, because I do have to, whatever, the cheating shit happened. I personally don't care. I know that there's people out there that care. I really don't care because they've shown up every year after that and said, you know what? Hey, we can do it without cheating. And they've proven that they're like almost better without it. Or not better, but you know what I mean. They can play at the highest level without it, and gotta respect it. And it sucks, but there's no denying that the Astros are one of, if not the best team in baseball, and they have been for years now.
Yeah,
And
I think I'm ready. I think and now they got to win the 4 games, and then maybe I'll feel more confident. But I think as of right now, I think if you want to go as tiers, I think the Astros are just little bit of a tier on their own.
yeah,
And then it's Dodgers, Braves, and then you guys can continue to go down the line. But
yeah,
I just it's amazing how The Astros, I know the whole cheating stuff. I know I'm a Dodger fan, but personally, I'm over it too. It's like, all right, it's a whole different team. I know they still have Bregman, Altuve, Gurriel. I know they still have some of those guys, but other than that, that's really about it. So it's like you can't say anything like, oh, well, they're still cheating. It's like, no, this is a whole different group of guys, a brand new manager. It's amazing how the cheating thing with the Astros is going one way, and the 2020 Dodgers World Series is going the other way, which that's the thing that I don't like.
Yeah, I don't know. But Astros are just stupidly good. And they haven't lost a game this postseason yet, also, which
Yeah,
is
they're 7-0.
yeah, which is kind of bizarre. Um,
Has that
anything
happened
else?
before? I feel like it
Yeah,
probably has.
it has multiple times. I
Okay.
forget I saw it before. It has multiple times, like maybe like 5 times. I forget that I saw a list. But
Who I wonder who's done it more recently, before the Astros,
I'll
because
go
I
and
know the
find it.
Dodgers were 7-1 in 2017 before they got to the World Series. But
Yeah, I'll look it up now. But what do you guys think? Anything else about the ALCS before we talk about the World Series?
um, I guess kind of how fitting Aaron Judge was the last out in Game 4. I know you probably don't want to touch on this, but
No, I do. It's okay. We
it's
can.
it's it's I you know I was finishing obviously watching that game, and I was like, you know what, I want Judge to hit a home run here. I really do. I want him to tie this game up. They may not win this series, but at least give the Yankee fan one last thing to hang their hat on with Judge. I know technically now he's a free agent, and I know I've been clowning Bobby the whole year about this whole pending Aaron Judge free agency, but it's almost here, and we're gonna do that further down the line. But I really wanted Judge to do something there.
At
I
least get
really
a base
did.
hit,
Yeah.
something. But yeah, no, that was it was kind of a fitting end to the entire season, like you said. Um, because he was due up six, like going into the eighth inning, he was due up six. So like he would have made the last out like in the ninth, and I was like, this is how it's gonna end, isn't it? And it ended up that's how it was. I don't know if you guys listened to any of his post game interview, press conference, whatever, but it was the first time where he talked about the pinstripes in the past.
Mm,
So that was kind of like, shit, that sucks. But so I don't know what's gonna happen. I gun to my head right now, I'm gonna say he doesn't come back because why would he want to? And I also, as a franchise decision, I don't know if I've said it on here before, but in a way, why would the Yankees want to give Judge $40 million a year right now? They haven't done anything with him in the past 5 years there. And doing that just limits your money even more. So in a way, obviously I want him back, but looking at it from that way, giving a guy 40, $45 million a year who's going into his 30s right now, it's like, is that really a smart decision to keep him like that? Like a smart baseball winning decision? I don't know if it's me coping with him trying, like maybe leaving, but like, why would they put money into this guy who we actually haven't won anything with? I don't know. It's a decision they're gonna have to make and ultimately judge too once he gets the offers from Giants, Mets, wherever else he gets the offers from, and if he's gonna go where the money is. And that's gonna be a conversation later on in the off season that we're gonna have. But gun to my head right now, I'm gonna say he doesn't come back.
wow. I think I know I have enough thoughts about it to give a whole episode on probably. So I don't think we should focus on it too much, but I understand wanting to wrap up the season. It was like Melo said, it fitted well.
Yeah.
Judge rounded out, right?
Yeah, so the pitcher.
Yeah.
Right back to the pitcher.
Yeah, I don't know.
I lo-
Okay.
I'll
I
say
lo-
one last thing. Melo, I'm sorry, I cut you
No,
off.
it's okay. It's okay. No, you didn't. I talked too
I
much.
admire Giancarlo Stanton's strength almost more than anybody else's ability, any other person's ability in baseball. Just the fact that that swing is so weird, and he just flicks it opposite field, gone. That's it. Go ahead, Melo.
He's unbelievable. But yes, go.
Going back to Judge real quick, just kind of give my last closing thoughts. I was watching the post game show on TBS yesterday, with Granderson, Jimmy
Pedro.
Rollins, Pedro, personal friend of mine. Thank you. Because I know Bobby threw out his TV after the game, so he didn't see it. But it was very telling, and I was so fascinated from what he said because Pedro Martinez has been in this situation before. At the end of the 2004 season, after they won the World Series, he was also a free agent, and he was able to go wherever he wanted. And he said after they won the World Series, he looked at himself and he wondered, is this it? Am I ever going to be back in a Red Sox uniform? He said that after they won the World Series. And he said, yeah, Judge is definitely asking himself, am I going to be back in this locker room again? And this is after a loss. Pedro's was after a World Series. I thought that was very interesting. But listen, I know, again, I know I crap on Bobby with Judge and the whole everything, but I really want him to stay a Yankee. But it seems like as each day goes by, I don't see it. I
Yeah,
don't see it happening.
guess we'll find out. But
Okay, opening question. Let's will Aaron Judge be on a new team by spring training? Yes or no?
yeah,
Well, okay.
definitely. Definitely. I think it gets done somewhat fast.
What, Christmas? Wouldn't that be funny if he just signs like immediately when the free agency doors open?
Garrett Cole signed with the Yankees on my birthday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was a nice present.
Yeah, it was sick. It was at midnight too when he did it. It was
Oh,
like
okay.
11:58. Like, and then my birthday was at midnight. It was like 2 minutes before. But maybe that happens again. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe he signs with the Dodgers.
Listen, we have our own problems right now. Mookie Betts can't hit anything. I didn't like what I saw out of Judge this postseason, so we don't need that.
Okay.
You can have him.
Maybe he joins his team that's in the World Series.
Oh, the Astros.
No, well, I don't think they need him. I don't think the Phillies are interested in him either. So
Yeah. But to go back before we head into the World Series preview and
We ain't
stuff.
going. Matt's going. We ain't.
Whatever. Teams to reach the World Series undefeated in postseason play since 1995. The Royals did it in 2014, which obviously they
Oh
did not
my
win the World
God.
Series, and the 2007 Rockies,
Okay.
and they got swept in the World Series.
Hmm.
But teams did it before 1995, but those were just, I'm not reading off the rest.
Oh,
But two recent ones did not win the World Series.
Well, the odds are in Matt's favor because they lost 2 games. So
those Royals teams were a wagon. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about them now. That's not that long ago.
No,
no, it isn't.
and
Yeah.
most of those players stink now. So
Yeah,
Or they're not there anymore.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, they're not there anymore. Those teams never struck out, which was so amazing to me.
Mhm.
I never saw them strike out,
No.
especially in those postseason games.
definitely wouldn't strike out 17 times in one game.
All right.
Damn. Damn. Okay,
World
good.
Series predictions or
Oh,
preview.
boy.
What are we? Anything we are concerned about that we're looking out for? Anything like that?
I mean, from my perspective, this is the first team in the postseason. I mean, the Braves a little bit. I was worried about the Braves, and now I'm going into this series. I'm slightly scared. Like I said, the Astros are a very good team, and there's a reason they haven't lost yet this postseason. So I won't give a prediction yet, but
Yeah,
Oh,
anything else that you want to say? Anything we want to say regarding the series before predictions?
I don't. I know Major League Baseball has no control over this, but I don't like the fact that Game 1 is not until Friday. I think they made a huge mistake with that.
Yeah, but that you have to take into consideration. Like you can't change anything now.
Right? Yeah, I understand that, but it's even in a normal bracket, even in a normal year, teams that clinch the World Series like relatively early, they don't have like 4 or 5 days off. It's just like three.
Yeah.
But I'm just my biggest thing is that these teams are gonna come out flat in like Game 1. So I mean,
well,
if you want to steal one, if you want to steal a game in Houston, that's probably the one to do it.
that has been the Phillies' key. Uh one of their fine points that really has helped them in this postseason. They stole game one against the Braves in Atlanta, and then against the Padres,
And the
stole game one.
Cardinals.
Well, the Cardinals, they took both of the first two
Oh
games.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah, obviously. Never mind. No, I
yeah.
forgot. But
So, but yeah, I think that is game one is I know it's a nice narrative to talk about, but like I think it actually is really important to win that first game.
and it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, it's like the rest versus rust thing that we're gonna be talking about, but both teams are gonna have their aces. Yeah, both teams are
Yeah.
gonna have their aces, and they're both in the same position. It's not like how the Astros and the Yankee, for example, like how the Astros swept whoever they swept. Why am I blanking?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Mariners.
Yes, and then the Yankees went to 5 games and they went right into it. Both these teams ended their rounds early. And they're both in the same position, so there's no, oh, this team had rest or anything like that. It's going to be very interesting. Phillies offense needs to show up again, and it's their, I would say, their toughest competition yet.
Yeah. Can the Phillies defense stay pretty decent? There haven't been too many blunders so far this postseason,
Hmm.
but I mean, listen, that was everybody was worried about Castellanos and Schwarber full time in the outfield. You remember that Harper's supposed to be an outfielder, and another rule change. If they didn't have DH in the National League, Bryce Harper wouldn't have played very much at all.
Yeah,
So I'm glad for that rule change too. Hopefully, Philly's defense can hold it together at least.
yeah. Um, it's kind of crazy because it's all we've brought up so far is like the Phillies need to do this. The Phillies need to do this to win. Like the pressure's kind of on the Astros. The Phillies, obviously, they have pressure, but the pressure is more on the Astros to actually finish the job. Because I don't know what the odds are, but I'm sure that the Phillies are not favored to win this series.
No.
Probably not even close,
Um,
or or relatively.
I think the Astros were minus 120. The
Interesting.
Phillies were plus
Okay.
money, but
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But anyway, like the Astros probably like are the better team. Like there's no question about that. But it's whoever's hot, whoever's hotter, whatever things goes their way. Both of these teams, everything has gone their way so far, and that's not going to happen in the World Series. Something's going to change. It just depends on who it is.
Yeah, and I told Matt this last week after they swept the Mariners. It's like you have to finish the job. You've lost two World Series that you were favored to win in, Nationals and the Braves. You better finish the deal off this time because there's no Dodgers, there's no Braves. Now listen, I said this before the Phillies completely went bananas this series. So they're gonna have something to say about that, but in terms of just what was left, they're clearly the best team.
Right. Let's get into predictions. Matt, go first.
Okay. What kind of fan would I be if I didn't take the Phillies?
Fair.
And I 100% respect anybody who takes the Astros because Listen, if I wasn't a Phillies fan, I probably would too. As Bobby said, they are on paper, they're the better team. Now, where does on paper land you in the playoffs? Not always where it says it's supposed to. So give me the Phillies. Give me the Phillies in 6. Give me them in 6.
Melo, you want me to go? You know my pick. Do you want me to go first or you?
I know your pick, so go.
I'm sorry, Matt, but Astros in
Nah,
5.
okay. Listen, I respect it because the Astros are on a roll right now too.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're just a great team. So
I just think I hope I'm wrong. I've actually went against the Phillies every single round so far this season, or this
yeah,
postseason, I should say, and I hope they continue to prove me wrong. But after seeing what the Astros did to the Yankees, and I know that the Yankees play didn't help, but Phillies have to show up like they were. If they don't play like they played against the Padres and the Braves, they're in trouble.
definitely.
Melo.
So one last thing before I give my prediction, I do like the fact that the Phillies clinched relatively early, and they're gonna get to Houston probably tomorrow, Wednesday, and they're gonna have a couple days to soak it all in. Like, holy shit, we're in the World Series. The Astros are gonna be ready to go Friday night, but the Phillies, they haven't been this far. That group, they're gonna soak it in like, man, we're in the World Series. We're this close. But then come Friday, I think they're gonna be ready to go. Listen, I think I see, you know what this reminds me of? And I'm gonna go to a different sport here. This Phillies team reminds me about the Eagle team that won the Super Bowl.
Here we
Underdogs.
go. Here
Give me
we
the Phil
go.
give me the Phillies in 5. World champion
Woo!
Phillies. Give me the Phillies.
Wow. Okay.
That I
Interesting.
mean, hey, that is a great parallel. Philly in both sports taking down the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Patriots.
nobody wanted the Patriots to win. Nobody wants the Astros to win. Maybe it's destiny.
I hope you're right. I hope you guys are right. I really do. Crazy.
Let's go MVPs. Who wins World Series
Oh,
MVP?
You guys go first because you're picking the Phillies.
well, I picked first.
You gotta go.
It is tough to pick against Bryce Harper. It's kind of the obvious pick. Give me Schwarber though. Give me
Ooh,
Kyle
Oh,
Schwarber.
okay. I like
okay.
that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Underrated. He could have won the NLCS MVP if it wasn't for Harper's moment, which I understand. But Schwarber's been on fire too.
Yeah,
A couple leadoff home runs. I could easily see that happening.
Melo.
I think he's gonna have a big series, and I think he's gonna make a lot of defensive plays. Give me JT Realmuto.
I like
Good
it.
pick.
I like that. Okay. Now, I don't know if he's who won. Oh, Springer won in 17, right? For the Astros.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah.
No, so I
Yeah.
was just trying to think. I was gonna pick. I'll pick Bregman. I think he's just gonna
Okay.
continue to show out in the postseason. I feel like this is time to shine. Always, it's the postseason. I'm gonna go Bregman. But like I said, I hope you guys are right. Go Phillies. We're all Phillies fans. Phillies just got to keep rolling, and hopefully the Astros cool down from their little break here, and the Phillies keep it going. I don't know.
Aren't they due to lose a game though? The
You would
Astros.
think
Or a
St
series.
that would be cool, but
Who's gonna steal a base and steal a taco this round? You know how
oh
they've been doing
Ooh.
that
yeah,
every
yeah,
year?
Um. Well, Phillies don't have too many amazing options, really.
JT, he could.
He's a good pick. He's an underrated pick. I don't think
Bryson,
he's swiping a bag too often. Like I know he had 20 in the regular season, but yeah, Bryson's a good pick. If Edmundo Sosa gets on, um, I'm not sure he's going to get any starts necessarily, but if he gets in as the pinch runner, He is a very speedy guy.
It doesn't have to be from your pick. No, it could be anybody.
Yeah, you're
Well,
right.
hey, I'm just shouting out my faves. The Astros though. Kyle Tucker,
He can, I guess. How does Kyle Schwarber have 2 stolen bases this postseason?
pass balls probably would be my guess.
I don't know, but he's tied for the league lead this postseason with 2.
There
Damn.
we go.
So Kyle Schwarber, let's book it. But yeah, other than that, go Phillies, and yeah, hopefully episode 50 we'll be celebrating a Philadelphia Phillies World Series win.
I sure hope so.
Let's go Phillies, baby.
Go Phillies.
Here we
Finish the
go.
job.
All right. See ya.
Adios.
See you guys.